Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If I can briefly have your attention while you work on your breakfast. Breakfast is really delicious. There's still about 35 minutes of breakfast left, so I encourage you to text other delegates and tell them to come join you. Once you have your breakfast, if you can make your way back into this main hall area, I will let you know, starting in about 15-20 minutes, our staff will be back in the back corner there, selling 50/50, and we're almost sold out for STARS Air Ambulance, which is pretty awesome. So if you can snag one more 50/50 before our grand prize draw around 11:30, that would be greatly appreciated. There's these really sweet Yeti coolers that are jam-packed with a lot of cool stuff, and we're going to give them away courtesy of our friends over at Cortec, Triple S Transport. They sponsored our network breakfast this morning. I'd like to introduce Mike Holliday to give these away, so you'll want to pay attention because it has to do with your seats. So you might want to just join Mike here shortly because you might be a winner early this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural SARM breakfast. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank SARM, the board, Amy, Adam, and their staff for giving us this opportunity to sponsor this inaugural breakfast. Our group of companies are Saskatchewan-based. Having been born and raised in Regina, I am very proud to be here, working in Saskatchewan, and providing what I believe is a quality product, quality service that provides great value to the Saskatchewan ratepayers. Premier Moe's address in this room yesterday solidified this belief that Saskatchewan is a great place to live and do business. I'd like to quickly introduce some members of our team. First of all, I'd like to introduce Mr. Al Kraczynski. Al, if you wouldn't mind standing up. Al was born in Regina, Saskatchewan in 1936 at the Regina General Hospital, same hospital I was born at, only 40 years earlier. Al was born and raised in Hubbard, Saskatchewan, went to the University of Saskatchewan, and founded Ward Chemical approximately 40 years ago. His two sons are Jerry and Jim. They're both sitting next to Al. Jerry and Jim are very integral in our business, working on the day-to-day operations to ensure that our staff have the ability to do our jobs and provide the service that we do. Tim Kraczynski, he's sitting right here. He lives in Saskatoon. He's Al's brother. Tim is a retired police officer from Saskatoon. Tim is our traffic control supervisor. He trains all our staff, makes sure that when we're out working on the roads, that everything is done safely. I'd also like to introduce Darren Steeney. Darren was born and raised in Shellbrook. He owns and operates Triple S Transport. Approximately 5-7 years ago, Darren reached out to me, and I reached out to Darren, and we collaborated together to expand our business into Saskatchewan, set up some infrastructure in Shellbrook so that we could service this province with what we believe is our quality products and services. On every table here, we put out these bottles of hot sauce, so you're welcome to take those home with you. Put them in your RV, put them in your cabin, take them home. They're not too hot, so if you haven't tried it yet, don't worry, it's not going to really burn you. It's right in the middle. Anybody that's tried it that likes hot sauce will enjoy that. And then with respect to the coolers, we had put out some business cards on the tables. It should be my business card, and it should have an initial on it, not the magnets, but a business card. There's 3 of them out there somewhere, and if you have a business card on your table that has an initial on the back, bring it up here and you can collect your Yeti cooler. Tim, do you want to help with this and see if we can find them? If it's not on your table, it might be on one of the empty tables. So we have our first winner here, Eric from Viscount. And go ahead. There you go. They're kind of heavy. So is this your initial? The Dina did that, yeah. What's your name? Oh, Grassy Creek, okay. Kathy? And then we have Kathy from Grassy Creek. Which one do you want? It's kind of heavy. Mark from Aberdeen, okay. And then Mark from Aberdeen got the last one. So once again, thank you for having us. We're proud to work with you guys. Take care. Have a safe trip home.
All right, good morning. I just want to give you a 15-minute warning before our program begins. We have about 15 minutes, 9:15 we'll start. So if you'd like to grab another cup of coffee, washroom break, help yourself to some more breakfast, by all means. 15 minutes and then we'll begin our program. Thank you. Good morning. If I can have everyone's attention, thank you so much to Quartec, to Triple S. That was an excellent breakfast. If you can just give them a round of applause, that would be greatly appreciated. We have a lot to get to this morning before we try to wrap up on time for our lunch hour. So I'm going to begin by saying thank you for selling out our Stars Air Ambulance 50/50. We'll have that draw a little later this morning around 11:30. With that said, we also have our bitter end raffle draw, which means you have to stay to the bitter end. You have to make it here back in this convention hall at 11:30 to be able to win that prize, as well as our SARM challenge. We'll give away all of those prizes around 11:30 this morning. Now, of course, I want to remind you that as we move through, we're going to be moving from our division meetings right back into this main hall. We won't be using that extra side room now. So from your division meeting, come straight back in here to our main hall. I'd like to begin this morning with a few addresses, starting with SARM President Ray Orb.
Thanks, Rusty. I think most of you probably know that I was acclaimed as SARM President for another 2 years, so just officially I would like to I'd like to thank my nominators, first of all, and I don't know if they're actually here right now, but Wayne Black and John Wagner. There's Wayne, and John is right there. So I really appreciate you too, and I know they were prepared to get up here and present the nomination for me. So I also would like to show appreciation to you, all the delegates. I said this a few times over the last couple of years. We don't really have a ratings thing or anything like that to show how much our approval is, like a convention or anything like that. But because of the fact that I was acclaimed, I feel I have a mandate to continue for the next term, the 2-year term as president. And I really appreciate that. I had written a lot of things. I'm grateful for a lot of these things. And I think it shows, obviously that our SARM board is working well together. We have a good SARM board, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the staff at SARM, really a great staff, phenomenal staff. I can't say enough about our staff that we have. Also, good relationship with the Rural Administrators Association, and that's a good working relationship, but there's one person that I never want to forget is my wife, Val. And without her support, I would not be able to do this, believe me. We've got 3 children, 1 in Calgary and 2 here in Saskatoon, and we've got 3 lovely granddaughters and 2 lovely grandsons. And they kind of, between our kids, that's our family, and it's a great family. So just a quick note as well, there are a lot of people that don't know what goes on behind the scene at SARM. Just this convention alone, our staff has been working so hard on this convention, and it really it's like a year's planning. So we're going to start planning for the midterm and start getting speakers, and we hope that, we're bringing the right people in and the topics are valid, but we have so many topics out there, it's sometimes hard to decide. But nevertheless, I'm going to continue doing my best and to make things better for people that live in rural Saskatchewan and our RMs, and I really appreciate the support, and I want to thank you, and I'll do the best I can. So work with us, and we'll do great things together. Thank you. I'm going to introduce Vice President Huber. He has a few words to say as well.
Just a few. Do you want to leave your speech up here, Ray, or should I turn it upside down? Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, councillors, reeves, and administrators. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for your support in the past 2.5 years as I've had the opportunity and privilege to serve as your Vice President. It's truly been an honor. And I want to echo some of the words that Ray said. I'm going to have the opportunity to serve as your VP for the next 2 years, and I will work diligently to support some of your concerns and requests as we go forward in the next year. We do live in some pretty challenging times right now. You know, it's a changing world, and if any of you read the last Rural Counselor, I put a write-up in there about changing times, how much things have changed in the last 40 or 50 years since I started farming. And it's the same in government. And the next couple of years, we're going to see some changes. But it's been a privilege to be on the board. I was elected as Division 1 Director in 2016, had the privilege of representing that division, and got to know a lot of people. And Bob Moulding now is the Division Director for Division 1, doing an excellent job. At least I think he is. Seems to be. He tells me he is. I don't know what the members do say down there, but it's great. We got an excellent board, and I also want to echo some of the things that Ray said about our staff. We've had some staff changes in the last couple of years, but it's great. The ones that left moved on to better places and were excellent too. But I just want to say thank you to all of them, Jay Meyer and his crew. They do an excellent job. A lot of work goes into this convention. But as we go forward, we do have some challenges. We have a pretty good working relationship with our provincial cabinet, and they've actually, the Minister of Health and Minister of Rural Health have come to us. We had a meeting with them a couple weeks ago and said, you know, they're willing to meet with us quarterly, and they had that ask. So that's encouraging, and they do listen. Sometimes they don't hear us and give us all the things we want, but it's a little different when we go to Ottawa, and we had a lobby trip last fall and spent a week in Ottawa, and it's, you know, I said to Ray one day, I said, should we really spend the money to go there? And Ray said, well, you know, if we don't, we got to stay in front of these people and keep the ask out there. And it is encouraging sometimes. We come home with some wins, but it's a little disappointing sometimes, or maybe more than a little disappointing. You know, we live in communities where agriculture is the main backbone, and oil and gas in this province. And there's a lot of things that are affecting agriculture and the oil and gas industry. And we need a little more support from our feds, and it's a little disappointing sometimes. We went there with a presentation last fall on reduction of fertilizer use by 30%. We had put a pretty good, our staff worked hard, put a pretty good presentation together, and when we met with our federal minister of agriculture, she really wasn't too receptive to some of that, and that's somewhat disappointing because we have 40% of the arable land in this province, and it's a big part of our economy. So again, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate your support, and I look forward to working with you in the next 2 years. But don't be strangers. If there's something you want, don't feel that you're shy to reach out to the staff or the president or myself. We're here to help you, and that's what our role is, and we'll continue to do that at the very best we can. Thank you again, and thanks for your support.
Congratulations, Ray and Bill, and thank you. I'd like to now turn your attention to the screens beside me on either side of the stage. There's some back there. You'll see the division meeting rooms pop up, the map. It is important that you know where you're going because we're going to be moving here momentarily into your division meetings. So you'll see the screens. An extra reminder, I think there was some confusion with Division 1, but Division 1 is in Hall C. Division 1, Hall C. So you'll see the maps. You can now make your way to the division meetings. We'll have an hour of division meeting time and then a 15-minute break. Try to come right back here quickly for 10:45. Thank you and see you shortly. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. We are going to begin our program. Just a note, if you're still carrying around your voting devices, now that we're done division meetings, please return your devices back to the registration desk. If you can flag down a SARM member, they'll also take them here while you're sitting at your table. But we need to return all of the voting devices before you leave today. We're in our last home stretch, our last hour or so thank you for sticking it out with us. Don't forget, in about an hour's time, we'll have the 50-50 draw that is sold out, as well as our SARM Challenge winners, our bidder and raffle. So I encourage you to stick around for our next hour. I'd like to now call upon Executive Director of SARM, Jay Meyer, to share in our financial report. Please give Jay a warm welcome.
Okay, Laurel, I think they got the member services up there. We'll just, I think it's you got the member services one up there. If you don't mind putting the financial report up. Yeah. We got a file issue right now. We're just going to get it resent to the techs here. And technology, well, we've been waiting for a technology glitch. At least it wasn't registration. That went very smooth. So if it's going to happen, it might as well be during the financial report. Lights are on. That must mean we're getting close. There we go. Thank you. Okay, I'll take a couple minutes of your time to talk about the SARM financials. Joining us today or this morning, we got from Virtus Group, we have Sheila Filion, who is the partner of SARM's audit. And from CIBC Wood Gundy, we have Kevin Pushon, the Senior Wealth Advisor for SARM's Consolidated Investment Portfolio. We're also joined by Catherine Patterson, SARM's Director of Finance, as well as Colin Warnicki, SARM's Manager of Risk Management. So this report will highlight significant details or trends with respect to SARM's financial statements for 2022. The audited financial statements are available on the SARM website in the About section, and then under What's New on the Annual Reports page. The audit is being completed and a clean audit opinion was issued by SARM's auditor, Virtus Group. SARM's financial statements have three components. The general fund accounts for SARM's day-to-day operations. The fund includes all contributions and resources which are not restricted for use by the insurance and benefit funds or by any of the programs administered by SARM from the provincial ministries. The insurance and benefit funds reports all revenues and expenses related to the operation of the SARM's benefits plan, the liability self-insurance plan, the fidelity bond plan, and the property self-insurance program. Other funds are used to account for the externally restricted contributions and related expenses for programs and initiatives administered by SARM. A wide range of programs are funded through external contributions by provincial ministries. This graph shows the general fund surplus each year for the from 2014 to 2021. SARM has had a stable history of strong surpluses. The sum of all the surpluses from 2014 to 2021, as shown above, totaled $3.7 million to SARM's balance fund. This is an increase of 60% over the past 8 years to the general fund balance. In 2022, SARM experienced its first deficit over the same period, a deficit of $429,920, which was influenced by lower investment income than the year before in the amount of $373,920. Investment income over the past many years has been very strong, but as we all are aware, the past year has been challenging to most of our portfolios. In a few slides, we will discuss the current portfolio. You will see consistent language during today's presentation on how the investment income is a major influence on the financials of the majority of the SARM's funds. This deficit reduced the fund balance to $8,827,625 held on December 31st, 2021 to $8,393,705 at December 31st, 2021. We will look at the 5-year history of the fund balance in the next slide. The fund balance represents the sum of SARM's general operations annual surpluses or deficits during the beginning of operations. This slide shows the steady growth in SARM's general fund since 2014. You will notice in the graph the general fund has increased by $3.4 million or 68% over the past 8 years. The fund is very healthy and is in good shape to sustain rainy days like we've had this year, 2022. The history of strong financial results has ensured that SARM is in a good position to absorb a deficit year like this year. Now I wish to chat about SARM's investment portfolio. SARM's investment portfolio includes the assets of SARM's general fund, the group benefits fund, the liability and property insurance funds, the fidelity bond fund, as well as the municipal tax loss and specific claims tax loss compensation trust funds. In 2022, markets experienced negative performance in all asset classes except for money market or cash holdings. As an example, the Canadian bond market had its worst performance in history. The midterm bond market was negative 10.29%, and Canadian equities were negative 8.66%. Despite this challenging year, it's important to show that SARM's portfolio was negative 4.4 and continued to outperform competitive markets. As of March 7, 2022, the portfolio currently shows a positive of 2.16% year to date. The slide provided by CIBC Wood Gundy shows the linear representation of SARM's investment performance over 10 years, January 1st, 2013 to December 31st, 2022, as well as the recent return markets. The SARM portfolio shown by the dark line and illustrates the value of the diversified portfolio over time versus short-term investment. The fund has performed very well over the long term. I wish to now speak on SARM's general revenue. SARM's total general revenue is just over $4.3 million. Membership fees account for 21.3% of SARM's general revenue. Other than membership fees, the largest sources of revenue are administration fees, and the net revenue from member services. Investment income varies significantly depending on the performance of the investment markets, as shown in previous slides. Administration fees are transferred from the insurance and benefits plans, as well as from any program administered by SARM for external parties, such as the Rural Integrated Roads for Growth program and ag programs. Net revenues from SARM's member services were $457,207 in 2022. Through SARM's member services, we strive to provide our member municipalities with quality service and products at fair prices. Member purchasing provides a wide variety of products which has been tendered on our members' behalf at discounted prices through relationships with various partners. SARM coordinates insurance and benefit programs through external carriers, including excess liability insurance, extended health and dental benefits, long-term disability coverage, as well as both group and optional life insurance programs. SARM's legal services represents RMs with respect to claims under the SARM liability self-insurance plan and provides advice to RMs. The fees charged to the insurance plan and to members are well below market rates, with the goal of breaking even or covering the cost to SARM of providing legal services. In 2022, legal services had a small deficit of $4,472. SARM's community planning services are available to all RMs. There are a variety of services offered, and these can be tailored to meet the needs of each individual municipality. The cost of community planning services exceeds the revenue generated through SARM through the fees for service. The net expense for community planning is funded by contributions from strategic initiatives funding on an annual basis. About 43.5% of SARM's general expenses are for salaries and benefits. Salaries and staff expenses for the legal and planning staff, as well as for the program staff for the Rural Integrated Roads for Growth program, are not included in general expenses, but are included as part of member services or program services. Board and other meetings and advocacy and engagement expenses represent 16.2% of total general expenses. This category includes per diems and honorariums, but also travel expense reimbursements and meeting and travel expenses paid directly by SARM for board meetings, external committee meetings, attended by SARM board members, lobbyist fees, and staff travel expenses for advocacy trips. The following slides will provide additional information on SARM's benefits plan and self-insurance plans. This slide shows the claims paid by the SARM benefits plan over the last 5 years. Most claims are for short-term disability and vision claims. We have remained pretty consistent over the past years, with a bit of a spike last year. This slide shows the claims paid by the SARM's benefit plan as a percentage of premiums paid to each of the last 5 years. The trend for claims costs in the SARM benefits plan generally edges higher over time, notwithstanding fluctuations up and down from year to year. Rising claims costs are driven by higher salaries for individuals, but also in part due to an aging workforce. Claims costs for 2022 were $1,537,873, down by 15.2% compared to 2021. Overall, the plan's claims experience is within the range we have been experienced over the past 8 years. The benefits plan fund balance saw $63,673 net income, but due to investment loss of $245,124, the plan did land a deficit of $181,451. Over the past 5 years, we've seen the growth of 25% to the benefits plan fund balance. The fund balance is $4,921,090 as of December 31st, 2021 for the SARM's benefit plan, and it's quite healthy, having grown steadily over the 4 prior years. An actuarial study was completed in 2020 by Aon has shown that the fund has become somewhat overcapitalized. We are addressing this by returning additional value to the members in various ways. We began by increasing the vision and death benefits for members in 2021, and we also implemented a rate decrease of 5% for inside and outside employees. We will continue our work in rebalancing revenues and expenses for the plan, with an eye to reducing the overall fund balance to the actuarially justified levels over several years. This slide shows the claims expense incurred by the liability self-insurance plan over the past 5 years. The claims experience for the plan has been generally stable but can fluctuate depending on the nature of claims settled in a particular year. In 2022, claims experience was $3,083,000. Due to an incident that occurred in 2022, the plan will be exposed to a $3 million loss, and the maximum policy limit of $3 million was accrued for this claim. The plan is well positioned to absorb periodic large losses such as this. The annual operating deficits for the liability self-insurance plan, shown by the brown bars, exclude the investment income, which is allocated separately to the individual accounts. The investment income for each year is shown by the gray bars. Operating results include claims that are being paid along with accrued claims based on estimates of potential claim benefits. In 2022, the plan had an investment loss of $686,521 and an operating deficit of $3,024,631 due to the accrual of the maximum potential loss I just spoke about. As a result, the plan's fund balance was reduced to $12,063,662 from $15,782,498 at the end of 2021. The fund balance is the collective total of the individual accounts held on behalf of the members who participate in the liability self-insurance plan. While there have been operating losses in each of the last 5 years, a history of a strong investment income has allowed the fund to increase each year. Although the fund balance was reduced in 2022, the actuarial study performed by Aon in 2020 showed that the plan is comfortably capitalized and a little light on premium rates. In order to close the gap between premium income and operating expenses, the SARM Board of Directors approved a 3-year plan which saw premiums increase by approximately 4.5% in 2021 and 2022, and further increase of the same amount in 2023. The actuarial study confirmed the exceptional value of this program to our members, which is shown through the external insurance market would charge at least 45% higher premiums than was charged by our plan in 2020 to run a comparable program. This slide shows the claims paid by the property self-insurance program as a percentage of premiums paid in each of the past 5 years. Property insurance claims tend to vary widely based on instances that happen throughout the year. It is a relatively small program, so a couple of large claims can make a substantial difference. In 2022, there was an unusually large number of losses, as well as the largest single property loss that our plan had experienced. The annual operating surpluses or deficits shown for the property insurance program, shown by the brown bars, exclude the investment income, which is allocated separately to the individual's accounts, shown by the gray bars. Operating results include claims that have been paid along with accrued claims based on estimates of potential claim payments. In 2022, the plan had an investment loss of $288,563 and an operating deficit of $940,554. The operating deficit was due to the poor claims experience as well as the market increases to the cost of excess insurance and appraisal. As a result, the fund balance was reduced by $4,233,700 from $5,484,122 at the end of 2021. The fund balance, this is property program fund balance. The fund balance is a collective total of the individual accounts held on behalf of the members who participate in the property self-insurance program. In the 4 years prior to 2021, the fund balance has grown considerably by 25%. The plan is well positioned to absorb a deficit year, such as what was experienced in 2022. The actuarial study completed by Aon in 2020 showed that the program is comfortably capitalized, with rates that are actuarially sound. In 2023, rates were maintained at a 2022 level, which is notable in a time when the external insurance market is quite rocky, and we've seen increases of 20% being the norm, depending on the loss experience. The fund balance ended up landing in the levels we were at back to 2019 and well above 2018. This slide shows the claims paid by the Fidelity Bond Self-Insurance Plan as a percentage of premiums paid in each of the last 5 years. There is potential for wide variation in the claims paid amounts for this plan, depending on the nature of the claims incurred. As this is a small plan, one large claim can make a substantial difference. The Fidelity Bond Self-Insurance Plan's fund balance, as shown in this graph, is healthy and growing. Small rate increases back in 2016 and 2017 set the plan on a much healthier trajectory, one that can better withstand a future policy loss of $200,000. Over the past 4 years, we've seen a growth of this plan of 49% to the Fidelity Bond Fund balance. Even with the poor market investment performance, this plan's underwriting profit will result in a surplus of $11,386, and the fund balance increased to a total of $697,872 by the end of 2022. The actuarial study by Aon also gave the plan a clean bill of health, both in terms of its fund balance and its rate structure. Pursuant to various funding agreements with the provincial ministries, SARM delivers a range of programs as listed in this slide that provides assistance to our members and which benefit rural Saskatchewan. Total funding for the programs administered by SARM was over $10.7 million in 2022. This includes all payments made to RMs, suppliers for their programs, and the administration fees for SARM to deliver the programs. The SARM costs charged to the provincially funded programs are specified in various agreements. Costs are either charged directly to the program or a recovery of allocated SARM costs, such as staff salaries and benefits, office expenses, and office overhead. The recovery of allocated costs are recorded as administrative fees in the SARM statements. Now I want to talk a little bit about our building. I know I've been asked that in the past, so I thought I'd put a few slides up. In 2014, SARM purchased land to build a new office in the east side of the city of Regina. Why is it in the city of Regina? Our act actually states we have to be in the city of Regina, so we'd have to get that changed. But we built our office, and that's our home. In 2017, the SARM did move into the office on Windsor Park Road in Regina. This building is for SARM's members and belongs to you. The total cost of the land purchase and building was $6,437,455. SARM financed $3,523,000 of the total cost of the office building by an internal loan from the SARM Investment Fund. The investment rate charged to SARM is the average of the rates for 3-, 5-, and 7-year bonds and is adjusted every 6 months. Repayments of at least $350,000 and up to $500,000 has been made each year. Today, in March of 2023, the current balance outstanding is $890,000. Since 2017, we've paid off 75% of the entire loan of $3.5 million. We also have currently 86.2% of the total building and land paid off. At this projecting, our building and land will be paid off in the next 2, if not 3 years for sure. We are all very proud of the place we call home and are grateful for our forward-thinking membership to support such an investment. If you're yet to come to the SARM office, please come see it. As I stated, it belongs to you, our members. This concludes the financial report, and at this time, we'd like to ask our members if they have any questions. If there are no further discussion, I will then ask to move the report. Just want to put a picture of the office right there if you've not seen it. Okay, so do we have any questions? I see someone coming up to a mic. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, we got a question over mic 1.
Wow, that is really bright. My name is Elizabeth, I'm of Great Bend 405. One really easy question right for the auditor. What was materiality on the audit?
Sorry, the question again. Sorry, just kind of
What was materiality on the audit?
the materiality. Okay, can you hand to a? Yeah, it should be on.
Hi, thanks for the question. Materiality was 800,000, and there's smaller amounts for the various funds because each of them carry their own independent auditor's report.
I'm an auditor as well, that's why I was curious. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I guess I'll ask for a motion to accept the report as presented. If we could get an RM to toss their number at me, it'd be great. I heard 343. I saw a hand. Sorry, Don. I got to go with 343 over here, man. Okay. I'll call the question. Anybody, is everybody in favor? Please put up your hand if you're in favor. Okay, anybody opposed? Put your hand down, Ray. No. Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Have a great remainder of the morning.
Thanks, Jay. As we move through our agenda, I'd like to welcome from SARM, Craig Williams. Craig has been with SARM for 10 years and leads our member services team. He helps deliver the wide range of programs and services that SARM offers to its members. When he's not at work, he enjoys spending quality time with his wife and daughter and cruising in his convertible. Please welcome Craig to the stage. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. Thanks, Rusty. So I'm Craig Williams. I'm the Director of Member Services at SARM. For those of you who don't know, Member Services is the umbrella department that covers off all of the programs and services that we offer to the membership. These include community planning, legal, insurance and benefits, member purchasing, various member education initiatives, as well as ag biosecurity programs and the RARG program. I'm here to introduce a team member from SaskTel Business Solutions this morning who's going to share some great information with you about the importance of thinking about your municipality's data as an asset, as well as how to best protect that asset through managed IT security solutions. Last year, the membership voted in favor of a resolution asking SARM to do more to help RMs manage their IT security risk. This came after a cyber liability insurance program that we had launched in 2021 through a third-party insurer, Beasley, had fallen apart at the 2022 renewal due to significant challenges in the global cyber insurance market. Let me quickly share with you some of the work that SARM has been doing both before and since the passage of that resolution. SARM's been working on educating members about cyber security risks and ways to mitigate them for several years now. Back in 2017, we introduced a major update to our Fidelity Bond self-insurance plan and included coverage for the first time for RMs that lose money through forms of electronic fraud and theft. In 2019, we began focused efforts to build a strategy for education around cybersecurity threats and to build a cyber insurance program. Our goals then, as now, are to A, educate RMs about cybersecurity threats and risks, B, education around effective ways to mitigate that risk, and C, to provide RMs with a cost-effective cyber liability insurance product. Back in 2019, we began working with our friends and partners at Aon and found knowledgeable people who helped us work towards these goals. Starting at the 2020 annual convention, we had our first seminar on cybersecurity with experts from Aon. Throughout 2020, we worked with Aon and partnered with a company called Curricula to launch cybersecurity awareness training and a cyber liability insurance initiative for the beginning of 2021. Various articles, bulletins, and other communications with SARM put forward leading up to the launch of these initiatives, combined with the a few unfortunate cyber incidents hitting Saskatchewan municipalities in 2019 and 2020, saw the membership respond enthusiastically, with over 100 RMs buying our cyber liability insurance product at the first opportunity, and several other RMs signing up staff and council members for online training modules. 2021 was a rough year for insurers in the cyber liability space, with losses globally that well exceeded premiums collected. Insurers responded with tighter requirements for coverage, including proof that insured clients were conducting regular cybersecurity awareness training seminars, backing up data, having strong password management with multi-factor authentication, and having managed firewalls. In the absence of these things, coverage was restricted, premiums increased, or policies were outright canceled. The SARM program was far from the only casualty in this market. We have been working hard since the end of 2021 to figure out the best way to equip RMs with tools and knowledge to protect themselves from cyber risk in hopes to make a viable insurance program in the future. Now, it would not be feasible for SARM to be an IT service provider ourselves, so we have been working hard to look for various options to assist. We've looked at having a managed IT service provider contracted through our member purchasing area. However, even that presents challenges due to the varied needs of each municipality. In our search over the past year, we have learned about SaskTel's offering in this space. Given their provincial reach and their role as an internet service provider not only to SARM, but also to many of your municipalities, they are ideally equipped to help RMs with solutions tailored to their needs and their budget. So here to speak to you this morning is Brad Roberts. Brad Roberts was born and raised in Saskatchewan. He graduated from the U of R with a degree in business in 1991 and worked for a few companies in Saskatchewan and Manitoba before beginning his career at SaskTel 22 years ago. During his tenure at SaskTel, Brad has been fortunate to work in many different areas, including business long distance, cellular devices, community Wi-Fi, and more recently, the Internet of Things. Currently, he is the manager of ICT services, and his portfolio includes cybersecurity products. Brad.
Thank you very much. Just get that adjusted. Thank you very much, Craig. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for having me here today to speak to you. I really appreciate it. I was looking back at that 118 years, and that's adding a little extra pressure on my shoulders. It's impressive annually for 118 years. I guess as part of my introduction, you noticed that you probably gathered I'm a city boy, and I hope you don't hold that against me. That being said, most people who are from Saskatchewan have rural roots at heart, and I'm no different. My uncle actually had a farm up around the Lackford area, so I remember going there every spring and fall. In the spring, I'd walk behind the tractor, he had the stone boat, I'd be picking up rocks and throwing it on the stone boat, and then in the fall, it was the same stone boat, but it was rectangular bales of hay I was throwing on there. So I hope you'll give me a little lax, or be a little lax, because I do have a little bit of rural roots in me. As Craig mentioned, I'm here today to talk to you about something that you probably don't normally associate with SaskTel. Normally when you hear SaskTel, you're thinking cellular coverage, but I'm here today to talk about cybersecurity. There are 5 particular aspects that I'm going to talk to about cybersecurity today. First of all, what it is, what the benefits of cybersecurity are for you, what you should be doing, and different things you need to consider when you're looking at cybersecurity, and also how SaskTel can help. First of all, what is cybersecurity and what is a cyber attack? So I want to level set by giving you a definition of what a cyber attack is. As we're all aware, technology has taken giant leaps forward, and the speed of these technology leaps is only increasing. With the advent of the internet and rapid growth of digital platforms, we have become more connected than ever before. However, this connectivity brings about a new set of challenges, and namely the threat of cyber attacks. Cyber attacks are an attempt by criminals or groups to breach the security of a network, a system, with the goal of stealing, damaging, manipulating, or preventing access to data. In the past, malicious groups would often target specific businesses due to the value of the information that they held. While that still definitely happens, it is not the most prevalent reason for an attack anymore. Instead of taking time to research a victim and determine the best approach, criminals are using a more mass market or shotgun approach with regards to cyber attacks. They attack hundreds of businesses at the same time in the hopes that just one person clicks on a link. Rural municipalities may not feel that you may not feel your data is important, and criminals may not want that. However, that's not the case, And you may not have national security secrets, but really, cyber criminals don't care what kind of data you have. What they really want to do is they want to prevent you from accessing that data and then extort you to get money to potentially get access to that again. The mass market approach has increased the number of potential threats over the years. A University of Maryland study indicated that a cyber attack occurs every 39 seconds. And the cost of these attacks has increased exponentially. Over the past 6 quarters, the amount of ransom paid out for ransomware attacks has increased from $60 million to over $180 million. That's in North America alone. It's also been determined that over 90% of computer users are vulnerable to attacks due to their hardware or software vulnerabilities or lack of education. Also, another scary fact is, if you are actually attacked and breached, on average it takes about 66 days for you to recover from that. So that's 66 days with you potentially being unable to access your information and so forth, your emergency plans, your financial details. According to the Canadian Internet Registration Authority, cyber attacks against municipalities, including rural municipalities, increased by 47% in 2020. The report also found that smaller municipalities were at a higher risk of being targeted by cyber criminals than larger ones. Cyber attacks against rural municipalities can have significant consequences. For example, a ransomware attack could lead to a loss of critical data, such as financial records, emergency response plans, or other sensitive information. This could significantly disrupt an RM's operations and lead to dissatisfaction with its residents. Now I'm going to touch on what some of the benefits of cybersecurity are, and there's 4 that I'm going to speak to today primarily. The first benefit is the fact that it's going to reduce the exposure you face. Becoming a victim of a cyber attack can lead to financial and legal jeopardy. By taking steps to reduce this risk, you can lessen the chance you will be successfully attacked. And if you are attacked, you'll be able to defend yourself from litigation or fines by being able to prove that you took reasonable steps to protect your citizens' data. Secondly, there's municipality continuity. Having a cybersecurity posture in place can help ensure continuity by minimizing downtime or disruption caused by cyber incidents. This relates back to that 66 days I was talking about earlier it can take to recover from a cyber attack. Third is trust. Being successfully attacked can erode confidence of your residents to protect any information they've shared with you, whether it be personal or financial. If your residents are aware that you are taking steps to protect confidential information, they may be more willing to divulge this information to you. And finally is regulatory or mandatory aspects of cybersecurity. As attacks become more prevalent, there are more regulations that are being adopted mandating specific cybersecurity measures are in place. This includes insurance companies wanting to see you are taking reasonable security steps before they will provide you with cybersecurity insurance, such things as Craig mentioned, education and firewalls. Oops, I think I'm one behind. What should you do? Years ago, security meant putting a lock on the fuel tank shut-off valve so nobody could steal your gas. Now there's just so much more to think about. And in a few minutes, I'm going to talk about some of those things, and I hope you'll bear with me. And the reason for that is there's lots of different ways that you can be attacked, so there's lots of different things you have to have in place in order to prevent those attacks. As I had mentioned, when people ask me what should I be doing, and it may sound flippant, but really the first answer I give is simply anything. I had mentioned previously that criminals were taking more of a shotgun approach, and while that puts you more at risk, there is an upside to that. Because this shotgun approach, most hackers are lazy. If you've taken even the basic steps to protect your data, a criminal is probably going to move on to someone else who hasn't put those steps in place, like a firewall or education. So that is an upside to this approach. Cybersecurity can be complex, and there are different levels of security, ranging from the foundational, that everyone should be engaged in, up into the steps that governments take to protect nuclear information. On top of this, security can't be a one-and-done scenario. Threats are continually changing and evolving, and because of this, you have to ensure that policies are kept up to date, patches are applied, and education on threats is current for all employees. And as I said, this is where I'm going to talk about some of the things you need to consider when you're looking at cybersecurity, and the first thing is a firewall. Now, when I say firewall, a more accurate term is you should be looking for something like a security appliance. And the reason I say this is you're looking for something that will do more than just protect your data. You want to be able to block access to content to make sure that people aren't viewing inappropriate content when they are in your RM offices. You also want to be able to allocate network traffic. And what I mean by that is take that internet pipe that you have coming into your business and be able to say, okay, this device gets this much data, this device gets this much data, this application gets this much data. The reason for that is that can help with bandwidth congestion, or what some people like to call slow internet. And again, what I mean by that is you could have somebody in your office streaming YouTube, and that's causing your internet to be slow. By using these security appliances, you can limit the amount of traffic that goes to that YouTube service. Finally, the other thing you may want to look for is, if you're using a voice over internet phone system, is a system that can monitor that call. What security appliances can often do is, in real time, they can monitor those calls. If they see too much lag or jitter in the call, they will take bandwidth from other applications and apply it to that voice over call to maintain that call quality. The next product you should be looking at is endpoint protection. And endpoint protection can be a very generic term. When I mention this, what I'm specifically talking about are three things. Antivirus, which is software that is deployed on your computer and used to prevent, scan, detect, and delete viruses from a computer. Endpoint protection, what that is that automatically kills and quarantines threats, as well it can roll back or restore files that were deleted, altered, and encrypted by an attack. And finally, email and collaboration protection. What that does is if you get an email or using a collaboration package like, let's say Teams or something, and you click on a malicious link, what that protection can do is it can actually revoke that computer's ability to send emails, so that can contain the attack to that one device and prevent it from spreading. So far, all I've talked about is network-related infrastructure, and while that's extremely important, I want to point out that the weakest point of any security posture are the people. It's very important to educate individuals on how to protect your RMs from cyber attacks. Cybersecurity training is traditionally done online, and it provides education. But again, when you're looking at this training, the things you need to consider are it should cover wide ranges of topics. It shouldn't just be here's how to stay safe when I'm using my computer. Just as an example, I was thinking about this today. I've got this USB stick, and this morning I had my speaking notes on this stick, and I went to the front desk of the hotel I was staying at and said, hey, would you mind printing this off for me? So I gave him this stick, he plugged it into his computer and printed all the notes off for me, and I was really appreciative of that. But if I had been a criminal, I could have put a virus on this stick, he plugs it into his computer, prints it off, and he's brought down his entire network just by trying to be helpful. So I mean, you have to cover things with cybersecurity training other than just being on a computer. It's what to do with the USB sticks and other things, so that's important. When you're looking at training, it should be self-paced. So individuals can take it, when they have the time, but also ideally it would be spread out over a year. And the reason for this is you want cybersecurity to be top of mind throughout the year, not just take the training, cram it all in as fast as I can, and then forget it. So you want to spread that out over a year. Also, regular updates. As I mentioned, threats are continually changing. So when you're looking at education, if there are threats and new threats in the environment, you want your education to be updated with that content so people know what they should be doing. And finally, certificate of completion. You want some sort of record that you successfully completed this training, and the reason for that is, as mentioned a few times today, insurance companies often want to see something, some actual proof that you have done these things in order to protect your data and provide you with that cyber insurance. Phishing simulation, again, something that you need to consider, and I apologize, there's a few things I'm going over here, but I think it's important that you know all these different factors that you have to take into consideration. Phishing simulation is a way to gauge how much you or your employees know about being safe online. You want it to be as realistic as possible, because if it's too obvious, you don't get a true reading of how knowledgeable you and your staff really are. The other important thing is you can't just undertake a campaign. You have to get reports and results. You want to gather information on who opened suspicious emails, who clicked on links, and who entered private information. Now, this isn't done for punishment purposes or anything like that, but it's more for education, so you can talk to those individuals and go, hey, here's what you did, here's what you should be doing in order to keep us safe. And I guess while phishing and e-learning is often, or it can be purchased separately, it's often purchased in conjunction with each other. And the reason for that is what RMs or businesses will often do is they will have a session before they do the training just to sort of get a baseline on where people's knowledge is. They'll have a couple of sessions throughout the training to see that people are learning and catching on. And finally, another phishing simulation at the end of the training to make sure that people are retaining what they learned from the education. Vulnerability scanning and consultation. There are two types of vulnerability scanning, internal and external. Internal assessments are conducted from a combination of scanning, gathering information, threat analysis, and reporting. The testing looks at internally active and vulnerable services, rogue network access points, and configurations that may be suspect. That's a long way of saying what it does is it looks to make sure that you've updated patches on your equipment, because that's really important. As you put more and more technology into your network, you often see those updates from manufacturers going, hey, you need to put this patch in place. You need to update the software for this. And the reason for that is often security. So what these scans will do is they will make sure that all your equipment has been updated with the latest patches and provide you with reports if it's not. External scanning is it's conducted remotely, and what it is, it simulates attackers trying to hack in and gather information from you about your business. Now, gathering all this information is important, but if you aren't doing anything with it, that's you're not getting the true value of it, and that's why I know you talked about, Craig, before about looking into having cybersecurity professionals, but whether it may not be someone who's currently on staff, but you should consider maybe on a regular basis just having a consultation with one of these professionals. That way they can help you build and drive a vulnerability elimination plan based on the results of the vulnerability scans. Cloud backup, another factor was mentioned. And what cloud backup is it's a service that allows customers to back up important data to data centers and to restore that data quickly and easily in the event that there's a malicious attack or even something as benign as a computer stopping working. Things that can be backed up are physical servers, databases, and end-user devices such as desktops and laptops. One thing to keep in mind when you're looking at cloud backup is data sovereignty. You want to make sure that data that you're backing up is not leaving the country. If it transits the Canadian border to the US or anywhere else, as soon as it does that, the governments of those countries have the legal right to look at what that data is. You don't want that to happen. So when you're looking for a cloud backup solution, always make sure that the data stays in Canada. Just as an aside, one thing I want to point out is most people who use Microsoft Office 365, they think that Microsoft is taking care of all of their data because the data is in Microsoft's data center. The reality is Microsoft is not backing up Outlook, Mail, SharePoint, or OneDrive. All they're doing is providing uptime, so they're not protecting customers' data. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Just because you're using Microsoft doesn't mean that your data is being backed up. Finally, and this is the last one I'm going to talk about, is security operations centers. Businesses without a dedicated security department can find themselves challenged and overwhelmed to monitor their network 24/7. A security operations center provides 24/7 monitoring and configuration management and will lead any remediation activities. This is just like having your own dedicated IT or security department. Security operations centers take day-to-day active roles in managing the environment on the customer's behalf. Okay, this is the part I enjoy the most, how SaskTel can help. And we're getting close to the end. I know we're getting close. There's draws coming up, so I will try to wrap this up quickly here. A few slides ago, I was talking about the risks that are faced by rural municipalities, and one of the ones that I mentioned was resources. Many RMs may not have the financial resources to hire dedicated cybersecurity staff, and this can make it challenging to prevent, detect, or respond to cyber threats. This is where SaskTel can help. SaskTel has extensive expertise in the area of cybersecurity, both from protecting all the confidential data that we gather from our customers, but also from providing solutions to our end customers. Now, no one business can be all-knowing about everything cybersecurity, so because of this, SaskTel has formed strategic partnerships with companies, world-class companies to provide best-in-class solutions. Some of those are Arctic Wolf, Security Resource Group, and Secu Solutions. So we use those partners to help provide the best quality products in the marketplace. Now, as I mentioned, cybersecurity can be complex. I think the last thing I want to talk about is how SaskTel can simplify this for you. As all those features I was talking about earlier, I know it's surprised, but you can purchase those from SaskTel. That's something that we do offer. But there's a lot of research you have to do and you have to figure out what you want and what you need. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I am. In fact, you're the first people outside of SaskTel who going to know about this, so please don't share it too far, but we're in the process of launching 2 new security bundles. They're going to be Essentials and Enhanced, and what they are is they're going to package a lot of these products together for you. So I'll start with the Essential Security Bundle. Now, back at the beginning, I was talking about foundational protection, things that everybody should do. That's what this includes. The Essential Security Bundle is going to consist of a standard smart network firewall for your office, antivirus software, endpoint protection, and email and collaboration protection for all your computers, and cloud backup so you can store important information off-site. And again, I was talking about data sovereignty. That data does not leave Canada. In fact, it does not leave Saskatchewan because the data centers are here in Saskatchewan. The pricing for this is going to be different depending upon each RM's requirement and how many computers they need protected and how much data they need backed up. So I can't give you a definitive price. Right now it has to be a sort of a custom one-on-one. But our goal is to have this positioned at a very competitive price so it's reasonable for all RMs regardless of their situation. There you go. The next package is the Enhanced Securities Bundle. Now, this is everything. This is the full meal deal. It includes everything that you get with the Essentials Bundle, but with additions and upgrades. The upgrades are you move from a standard smart network firewall to an advanced smart network firewall, and we also add in vulnerability scannings once a month. So we will scan your networks, make sure there's no patches that need to be applied, or there's nothing that's offside that's going to harm you. We'll provide a 1-hour consultation with a cybersecurity professional once a quarter. We will provide the cybersecurity training and the phishing simulation. As well, we will provide access to a 24/7 security operations center, so they will be monitoring your network, and if anything comes up, they will contact you and they will take actions to help protect you. The nice thing about this is, as I mentioned previously, all these products can be purchased separately. So, if you feel you need more than the essentials but less than the enhanced, you could purchase the essentials and then just add on, say, cybersecurity training as an add-on to that. So it's very flexible, and that's how we designed it because we want to make it simple for you guys. I guess with that, in conclusion, I just want to say I think it's essential for rural municipalities to take cybersecurity seriously and take steps to protect their systems and data. Being proactive and vigilant, I believe that RMs can reduce the risk of cyber attacks and protect their critical infrastructure and services. And I also believe that SaskTel can help you with all this. So thank you again, and please enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. All right, I want to give you a second here to rummage around and find your 50/50 tickets as I welcome up our friends from STARS. As always, it's a pleasure to have Tammy Beauregard as well as Dr. Dallas Pearson join us. They are going to have a quick presentation before the 50/50, but you have a second here as they're coming up to grab your 50/50 tickets and get ready for the big draw that'll be here in moments. So, Tammy, come on up.
There are some words you never want to hear in a medical crisis. Too far away. Too far to reach. Too far gone. STARS was born from the conviction that no one should go without the care that could save their life. Care delivered by minds that innovate, hands that heal, hearts that reassure. Critical care anywhere is more than our vision. It's who we are. Overcoming obstacles, extending beyond boundaries. Because when it comes to the next patient who needs us, it's never too far.
Well, good morning, SARM, once again. Happy SARM 2023. Glad that the week is just about done. You guys can travel home safely. So thanks again for having us here. It's been a great week. Sherry Lemon and I, seen most of you, I think, at our booth this week and had lots of fun with a lot of you. So thank you. Just to say, I just want to let you know that we wouldn't be standing here, I wouldn't be here, STARS wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. If it wasn't for our province to be standing with us and all of you that are rallying together to be with us at STARS and be there for the next patient. At midterm, we talked about what we've done in the last 10 years, what you guys have helped and allowed us to do by donating and being there right beside our side every step of the way. And today we're going to do another bit of presentation and talk more on how we do that critical care anywhere, that you really are never too far from critical care. And we have Dr. Dallas Pearson with us today. He's one of our transport physicians. He's also our medical director for Saskatchewan. And he will bring the whole thing all together on how we are here for the next patient. Dr. Dallas?
Hi, thanks, Tammy. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for, as Tammy said, thanks for letting us come and tell you about what you allow us to do in this province day to day. As she said, I'm medical director for the province of Saskatchewan, both the bases, Regina and Saskatoon. But I was born and raised in Regina. I've done all my training, all my school in Saskatchewan. This is home for me as well, so thank you. Critical care anywhere, as Tammy said, and as our the video showed, that's our goal at STARS, that's our slang, our motto, but what does that really mean? We'll go through that a little bit here. At STARS, we pride ourselves on being able to provide the best possible care to critically ill and injured patients whom we treat. To do this, we have to stay current on research, we have to stay current on treatment and transport strategies, and we have to continue to provide top-notch education to our team. That best care that I'm talking about might involve remote support of rural healthcare teams. It might involve our teams at the bedside working with that rural healthcare team to stabilize and treat the patient before we transport them. It might involve navigating the logistics to get that critically ill or injured patient to a center where there's definitive care that's needed and available to treat them appropriately. Or it might involve any combination of those things. In order to do that and keep doing it and keep meeting our high standards, we continue to work on strategies and innovations to ensure that we can provide appropriate and high-level care to as many critical care patients who would benefit from that care as possible. We are currently working to extend our ability to reach more patients who need that critical care. As you heard in the video, STARS, we view the words "too far" as swear words. We truly believe that no patient should go without the care that could possibly save their life. A few of the recent innovations that we're working on, and I'll go through them in the next couple slides, are portable ultrasound machines, in-flight Wi-Fi, and a new massive hemorrhage protocol. If we can go to the ultrasound slide, sorry. Yeah, thanks. For the past few years, STARS has been working with Butterfly IQ ultrasound technology. Our air medical crews are training and continue training to maintain their skills at acquiring and interpreting images. These machines are very small and portable and lightweight, which is important during flight. Given their size, we can take them with us. We can use them at the bedside in a sending facility. We can use them in the back of the helicopter, in the back of a ground ambulance, if that's where we happen to be providing care at the time. Now, let's be clear, these machines are not the same as the big, massive machines in the hospitals that radiologists use, but that's not what they're intended to be. We use them for very specific purposes. We use them for indications that would allow early intervention for potentially life-threatening injuries. For example, in a car accident or a big trauma, we can ultrasound your chest and look for a punctured lung. And then the team or healthcare providers can put a chest tube in, the appropriate treatment, before we transport the patient. And that's especially important when taking a patient to altitude. Another use would be an unstable patient presents with abdominal pain. We can look for an abnormally dilated artery in the belly. And if we see that, we're going to take the patient to the appropriate center that has vascular surgery capabilities and call ahead and let the vascular surgery team know we're coming so they're ready to go as soon as we get there. As you see in the next video, STARS has partnered with Skytrack to provide our helicopter fleet with in-flight Wi-Fi capabilities. STARS transport physicians, when not joining the mission, have always been available to the teams by phone, but this will take it to the next level. This technology will allow the critical care team to transfer important information like heart rate and blood pressure in real time to the transport physician. Our crews are highly trained and very good at providing critical care, But in those complicated patients, having that extra opinion, that extra piece of advice and guidance gives that patient a whole nother level of care. The real-time data transfer that the Wi-Fi will give us will give the transport physicians even more information to add to the information they have to give the most appropriate and precise advice and guidance on patient management when the team needs it. This also offloads a task from the crew so they can spend that time treating the patient and giving patient care. STARS in Saskatchewan has already reached out to the cardiology service, and we're working together to see if this technology can be used to forward an ECG, the heart tracing, or other information about heart attack patient in rural or remote areas directly to the cardiologist on call in Regina or Saskatoon. That will allow us to initiate the heart muscle saving treatment much sooner, resulting in better outcomes for those patients. Finally, our massive hemorrhage protocol. I'm pretty proud about this one, and you'll see why when I start talking about it. Saskatchewan was the first province in Canada to carry blood products in the pre-hospital setting. In 2013, STARS, Saskatchewan Air Ambulance, partnered with Transfusion Medicine to be able to carry 2 units of blood and transfuse them in the pre-hospital setting. In 2019, those groups increased that to 4 units of blood. We're no longer the only province to carry, whose critical care transport teams carry blood and transfuse blood, as other provinces took note and have followed. But we still are the only province to carry 4 units. Last summer, 2022, STARS, Air Ambulance, Saskatchewan Health Authority, and Transfusion Medicine again partnered and extended that relationship and developed and rolled out a critical care transport massive hemorrhage protocol. What that means is, on top of the 4 units we carry, we also carry 2 other products. The first one being Fibriga, which is a blood product that helps patients blood clot more efficiently and faster, and Octaplex, which is a blood product that reverses anticoagulation medication, which many patients are on. The protocol sets guidelines that allow our teams to administer these products in specific situations that have massive blood loss or the potential for massive blood loss. And we can do it earlier now. We already know that in those situations, early administration of blood products to limit blood loss and early replacement of blood results in much better outcomes in the long term. Saskatchewan is the first and only province in this country to carry these 2 additional blood products and to roll out a protocol of this kind. Again, Saskatchewan, in part because of you guys, is leading the way in Canada with this innovation. As you can imagine, this is important in Saskatchewan. Blood and blood products are a precious commodity and can expire. In a province with our geography and patient population, this is a problem. The need for blood products is not frequent, but when it's needed, it saves lives. Stocking blood products in rural and remote areas is a problem because of that infrequent use. It puts them at risk of expiring before they get used. However, with this new protocol, STARS and Saskatchewan Air Ambulance, working with Transfusion Medicine, can get these potentially life-saving products to those patients in those areas much faster and get them in, resulting in better outcomes. Obviously, we have an agreement and we work closely with Transfusion Medicine in Saskatoon and Regina to rotate our stock and maintain appropriate blood storage so there's little to no wastage of these products. Just want to finish with again, a big thank you for your continued support from SARM that allows us to stay on the leading edge and stay innovative in what we do. Personally, I want to thank you because of people and organizations like you. I get to do what I do, and I love my job. So thank you, and thank you for letting me keep doing my job.
STARS has partnerships with a number of technology companies, and we have a long and great history with Skytrack, over 15 years. And so to have partnerships with companies that have more expertise than we do to assist us with some of these adjunct technologies is how we move the whole STARS program forward and ensure that we're always remaining leading edge. We've been really fortunate since STARS began 36 years ago to be flying what we now consider a legacy aircraft. And so as we're replacing the fleet, what we decided to do was really go to market and figure out what do we need. And the decision was made after a lot of consultation to purchase the H-145. It's brand new avionics in the front of the aircraft and brand new equipment to make sure that we're serving the population of Western Canada for generations to come. This is something that could make an actual difference for the next patient we fly. So we're very excited about it because our physicians forever have been on the telephone and virtually with us, but this is putting them more actually in the aircraft with us. This is taking it to the next level of, can we actually transmit patient information, heart rate, oxygen saturation, things that are physiologically going on with the patient directly to a physician that's not in the aircraft?
The data transfer technology is a really interesting and quite an exciting area of medicine. The ability of our STARS crew to transfer real-time patient information will be just an extra piece in the puzzle of allowing the transport physician to put all these variables together in real time, collect all the information as quickly, as rapidly as possible, and then be able to advise our teams on the best treatment options. It allows us to be an extra set of eyes that's remote to that scene. We have very highly trained nurses and paramedics who are able to do an exceptional job, but being able to add in that additional layer of safety, maybe that additional opinion or clarification of information, I think is really important. And it allows us to cognitively offload our teams and then provide that information to the receiving facilities.
Skytrack serves all segments of aviation, commercial, oil and gas, public safety, and unmanned aviation. We've really focused on data acquisition capabilities real time, which has made us a leader in this segment. It's changed the way people are doing operations and the ability to access the data. The ISAT 200A serves as a terminal that does data acquisition capabilities, everything from flight following to SATCOM voice and text, real-time exceedances in flight. It's essentially the brains behind the operation. The DAL 200 serves as a Wi-Fi or cellular hotspot that works in tandem with the ISAT 200A. Skytrack has become the leading provider in the public safety segment because of the reliability of our Iridium network. Whether it's rural or remote communities or urban areas, the 99.9% uptime of the Iridium satellite network is uncontested.
We're an organization created by the community for the community. That community includes allies, partnerships, our hospitals, our EMS providers, and yes, our technology companies. We wouldn't be here without those partnerships, and a partnership with Skytrack, Airbus, many others, means that it makes it possible to do what we do every day, which is look after very, very sick people.
So there you have it. So once again, you guys, thank you very much for everything that you have done for the last, well, now it's 11 years. And as you can see, and I know we usually have a VIP up here, and everyone's in tears, and it's very emotional, and maybe we didn't leave you super emotional, but I hope you understand that you are allowing us to be more innovative and to be out there in our rural areas and be there for the next patient no matter where you truly are. We will be there for you. So you should give yourselves a whole big round of applause because SARM has brought in $4,065,774. Thank you very much once again, you guys, and let's do a draw and see who's going to be the next winner.
All right, we're going to do blue tickets first. So if you have a blue ticket, you can stand up. And this too, you have to be here to win it. So let's hope that no one left with their ticket. So if you have a blue ticket, you can stand up. We're going to do like an elimination draw. We also have a leprechaun at SARM. Suma does not have a leprechaun, but we do. So one-upping them every time. Okay, here, thank you to Dr. Pearson there for this one. Okay, blue ticket, 1, 2, 0, 5. Yeah, if you don't have 1, 2, 0, 5, sit down, like the whole SARM board here. 1, 2, 0, 5, 1, 7. 1, 2, 0517. Awesome. Come on up here now, and then we'll verify your ticket. Our leprechaun will. Oh, he's on his way out there. And now we're going to do our other colors of tickets, which is yellow and red. Okay, so if you have a yellow and red ticket, stand up. Again, you have to be here to win. We sold out the Stars 50/50 raffle, so it's $2,500 for the blue ticket and $2,500 for ticket, I guess it's color yellow. That might make some people sit down now. 061. You're chuckling that you're already sitting down, but you're really mad. 06174. Oh yeah, knocking them down quick. 06174. Anybody? 06. Oh yeah, we have someone way at the back. Okay, come on up here. If we can just have one more round of applause for Stars, their efforts in our province. Tammy and Dr. Pearson, thank you so much. All right, okay, here's the deal. We're gonna do our SARM Challenge winners. So if you participated with the SARM app, that's what made you eligible to win these prizes. We have a ton of gift cards for these people. So in third place, MJ Larson from the RM of 32 Reciprocity. MJ, if you can come on up here, and then I'll direct you to where you need to go. Congratulations. Second place, using our SARM app, Evan Priest, the RM of Frenchman Butte, number 501. Second place, come on up here. And first place goes to Crystal Shan of the RM of Frenchman Butte, number 501. You guys are really with it using the app over in 501. Thank you. Come on up here, and I'll grab your prizes. Okay. Where's our SARM leprechaun? Come on back here and make this draw. Okay, we're gonna do now the bitter end raffle draw. If you came to the convention and you had it scanned, your tag, then you're entered in for this automatically. The kicker is this is the bitter end. This is the last 30 seconds of my time on stage. So you have to be here to win it. So the winner has to come here. Okay, from the RM of Keys, number 303, Calvin Statchuk. Is Calvin here? Yes, congratulations. Calvin, you won a really cool prize, a staycation for the city of Saskatoon, worth $1,000. So congratulations. You have to come to me though. You have to come on over here. Okay, we have one more to give away actually. We have another one courtesy of Tourism Saskatoon. We have another staycation here. So we'll give it to, just a minute, it's coming. Let's hope they're here. Okay. From the RM of Key West, number 70, Brian Vergoots. I might have screwed that last name up. RM of Key West, number 70. Anyone from there? No? Nope? Everyone is saying no. Okay, let's do another draw here. That was no luck coming from our leprechaun. Okay, from the RM of Duck Lake, number 463, Sid Kernohan. RM of Duck Lake? No. Holy, oh, yes? Yes, we have a winner. Congratulations. Thank you. Come on up here, though. For the rest of you, thank you so much for joining us for our annual convention. Please drive safe, and we'll see you coming up in the midterm. Thank you so much. Okay.